What shape is the Turkish economy in right now?
We had a major crisis, as you might recall, in 2001. And that crisis made us learn lots of things in macroeconomic management. We've lost half of our banks. We had inflation as high as 70, 80%. But the measures which came afterwards have made the discipline in place. And since then, during the last recession that the world has lived, we have performed, and we have shown very good resilience to what's been happening. So we are in good shape in a nutshell.
It's perhaps not the best time for IPOs at the moment, but how many are coming to market in Turkey?
Last year, in 2010, there were about 27, exactly 27 IPOs. This year, so far, maybe 10 did take place. We did 2 of them, and we're running a third one currently. And we will probably have 20, 25 IPOs again this year, but larger ticket sizes compared to 2010.
So what's the role of Garanti Securities in the Turkish IPO market?
We are, depending on the year, either the first, the leading, or the second house in terms of volume for the IPOs. This year it looks as if we will be the first with the numbers that we are handling. Depending on the size of the transaction, we either do it single-handedly or team up with international bulge bracket investment banks. And if it's a larger size, we prefer to share the risk and improve upon the marketability. That's why we choose to work with them.
The number of private sector bond issues has actually reached a record level in Turkey. What's driving that?
The main component is the banks borrowing in the bond market. The private sector borrowing in the bond market is there in big numbers in terms of issues and in terms of transaction numbers. However, the volumes are coming from the big banks. Garanti has issued twice 750 million TL bonds of different maturities, and also other banks are in the process of doing. So basically, it's an alternative for the investor to have deposits in the banks, which has shorter maturity, up to, say, mostly up to 3 months. And while the bond market, you can invest a year or 2 years.
And there have been substantial increases in private equity inflows. What are the factors behind that?
Private equity was not in existence in Turkey up to 5 years ago. But before the recession, during the good years of 2005, 6, and 7, there were lots of privatization going on. And some of them were attended by international players, including private equity, and private equity had invested in some of them. And now we're seeing good exits from them in multiples of 2 and 3 and even more. So we had about, in the last 5 years, about $10 billion of investments from private equity. And with the exits being in the lucrative side, I think more are coming encouraged by this exit ratios.
So finally, how do you see the outlook for the Turkish economy going forward?
We are expecting within the next 12 months, initially Fitch and then Standard & Poor's and Moody's to upgrade to Turkey to investment grade. And after that, we see more influx of money coming into Turkey, and hopefully a better year, even better than this year, next year in 2012.
Metin Ar, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you for asking relevant questions.